to the Temple of Speed. It's Monza. It's everyone's probably either favourite or least favourite circuit, just because it is a massively long DRS train for the entirety of the race. But we are here with Tier 4. They absolutely love the speed. We all know that. They are incredible, the lot of them. Tonight I'm joined by someone equally as incredible, Mr. Genie. How are you?
Set myself on mute. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good.
Yeah, had a bit of a eventful race, so I hear. So little birdie told me.
I mean, you did watch it, but
I mean, yeah, I was lead comms for it. Okay, fair enough. I might have seen you win the last race. So let's get that out of the way right now. Congratulations on your win.
Well, thank you.
No wonder you love this circuit, eh?
I do. Well, I mean, being a Ferrari fan, it's already quite high in my favourite track list, but I mean, it's a fun track, let's be honest. You know, it's got a mixture of slow speed 1, 2, 3, 5 and 4 and 5, and then you've got the high speed Lesmos. Ascari is a lot of fun when you can actually nail it. So yeah, it's good, and you always see interesting racing. You always see overtakes.
Yeah, it's
not.
It's not. I think on the last stream I said it was chalk and cheese to a track like Portimao, which we've just come from. Which there's no sort of equivalent to turn 8 around here. There's no sort of corner where you have to feather the accelerator or be a bit careful. It's send around here, isn't it? And I think that's what makes it so much fun.
Yeah, it definitely is. And the only slight downfall with the track is it's almost the problem with DRS, because you're constantly in a train. And it's so hard to break it. Trust me, like, look at me on the mediums in that first stint of the last race. It was so difficult to pull away. And I mean, I got a bit lucky in the second stint that I had my wonderful teammate behind me. So yeah,
it's always good to have teamwork. It does make the dream work.
Yeah, it definitely is. But I tell you what, are you ready to take us for a lap with YouTube Manu of this wonderful track?
Yes, let's hop on board with the Merc. Where is he? He's just coming up.
Oh no, Dirty Harry, sorry.
Dirty Harry, no, that's it. That's all right. The view's there. Right, so yeah, Dirty Harry just crossing the start-finish straight. Now you can see that time start to come down. Really long opening start-finish straight. Here, one of the longest. Your reach speeds of up to, I can see, 217 miles an hour. Puts the anchors out and hooks it into that right-left. Uses lots of the track there. Avoided using the curve, so he's not using every inch, but he's still fairly sharp as you see him round the Curva Grande here into the second chicane. You're looking for around about the 100 metre board on the right hand side. Hard on the brakes again. Cut as much as you dare there as you go into the left. Avoid that sausage curve on the right, and then use the green run out on the left. Right, then you're into Lesmo 1 and 2, the right handers. Really hook it in. Don't be afraid to use some of the track on the left, and he's done it. And gosh, that's it. He was pushing it. It's so easy to do round there. So I'm afraid the track line comes to an abrupt end.
It definitely
Harry ends up in the wall.
It definitely does. It's so easy to do on the curbs in the Lesmos, isn't it? It really is. It's a huge problem.
You have to really chuck the car in there, and yeah, the car, when it gives, it just gives on you. I don't know if he got a tyre on the grass or something, but yeah, you were just fired into that wall, and yeah, it's unfortunate to see him end that session. So pick another cursed driver, and I will see if I can take you around the lap of this circuit.
Yeah, I'm going to try and find someone who's on an outlap. I think it may be... Oh, he's going to absolutely hate me, but it's going to be Mr. Winky.
Okay, let's see where he is.
He's just coming around the final corner, so you can start with your guide from the beginning.
That's absolutely fine. He's being a very nice gentleman here, realising he was on his outlap and letting those faster cars go ahead, as we see the first times tumble in at the top. Great lap from Scottish Ninja, who tops the track. Let's see if Winky can match them as he takes this Williams around this Monza circuit. Nice little start there as well. Going to cross the start-finish straight now. Going to have to contend with a little bit of traffic, but that's okay. Let's see what top speed he can reach as he goes up to 215 miles an hour. Down in that chicane, that has to get out of the way. It does. Hooks it in left. Uses all the curve. That's what I like to see. You want to use every inch of this track to make sure that you're on the accelerator as much as possible, because that's where you lose valuable tenths. Through the Curva Grande is flat out round here, so no worries. It'll be hard on the brake around about the 100 metre board. Hook it in left, avoid the sausage curve on the right there. Uses the runoff on the left, just the tyre, that's all you need. Right, into the Lesmos. Can he manage it through? It's a tyre on the inside, but does keep it nice and steady. You're looking for about the 50 brake marker board each time to slow down, keeps it together. Then it's our second DRS straight. And again, it's pedal to the metal as you hair down, going under the old course, the bank circuit there. And you head into the Scary chicane, brake late, and then it's as much curve as you dare around here. It's a left-right, keeps the car nice and steady, it runs it, you want to run it just out to the right there. But he kept it in the right way, didn't invalidate, and he's on to the final corner, which of course is the Parabolica. Look for that green strip, about a 50, down into 5th. Hook it in, and it's all about carrying as much speed as possible through here. And you want to take slightly tighter line, as he does, to reduce the distance to the line, and that's Winky over the line. 1 minute 23, P8, not a bad banker lap.
Yeah, it's not bad considering how much of a moment he had in Ascari as well. He was really fighting the car. But there's another driver coming around the final corner. It's Mr. Smith, the South African, the teammate to... well, the man who's currently on provisional pole, but let's see what can Smith do. Up to 8th, not a bad time at all. But these times we noticed in all the other tiers that they really tumble as the session goes on, don't they?
Oh, totally. It's a track not only about your tyres warming up, but it's confidence. Like I said, that you've got to send it everywhere. And I felt, I'll be honest with you, I hadn't practiced at all Monday night, so I went out with 5 laps of fuel and just drove 5 laps to get used to the track. And your confidence builds around here. You've got to know every braking point down to the millimetre, because get it wrong and suddenly you're off on a wall, or brake too early and you're losing 2, 3, maybe even half a second around here. So, yeah, it's a track that really is risk and reward, and that's what I love about MONZA.
Yeah, but it's another track as well where even in qualifying you can integrate a little bit of team play. You can potentially, you know, give your teammate a slipstream, a tow down the main straight, down the back straight, down, you know, if it's at all possible. The issue is, me and Baby Hornet tried it and it backfired a little bit, but...
I think it's one thing the pros can do it, but I've never seen it unless Tier 1 or maybe the esports pros can manage a tow. I would just be worried about ploughing into the back of my teammate and absolutely ruining their lap. Or doing,
oh, someone's just got out of the pits!
Oh.
It looked like a hat. Is that Mr. Hills? No.
It's a hat. It might be Chelsea.
It may well have been. Yeah, that was... I have no idea what happened there, but that was a big accident.
Yeah. You do have to be careful around here.
Yeah, no, I managed to give Simon a tow down the actual straight, and then he was like, I think he gained nearly half a second just down the straight alone, and then he kind of lost it on the rest of the lap. Poor little Simon. But yeah, but it can work. It's something that could be hugely effective if you can pull it off correctly. But
yeah, you got to be wary about dirty air as well. Like the advantage that you get down the straight is it lost if you're following somebody through a corner like Ascari. There's always that opportunity. I don't know what happened in the pit lane. Like you said, I'm going to speculate here, only because I saw somebody do it in practice a while back. He's no longer with the league. He was a very naughty boy and he was told off for this. So you listening on the stream, don't do this. He was using drivers coming out of the pits to get a slipstream, to try and judge it, to try and get behind them. But of course, if you misjudge it, you just plough into the back of them and wreck their race and probably your own too. So yes, if you're thinking about that, don't. Stewards will call you a naughty boy.
Yeah, by the looks of it, it wasn't that, because Chelsea's apologised in the Discord. So it's obviously Chelsea's done something or other. He said he looked away for a moment, but yeah, well, at the end of the day, it's him that can't set another lap now. So we'll see if anyone else was majorly affected by it. But it's an interesting little quali now, isn't it? Bat Mazo as well. It's nice to see him. He's made his return back to the league, up in P5. Avanash, we all know how. I tell you something though. Look at that time from Antstoke. Wow.
It's a different class, that, isn't it? It was a bit like yourself, not to start blowing your trumpet here.
Don't make me blush.
But yeah, no, you set the early qualifying time. It was about half a second around here, and to have a banker like that from the start, everybody's chasing, everybody's going to be pushing that little bit harder, and that's where you see mistakes made. Like unfortunately we saw on Dirty Harry when you're really pushing it. So Doesn't mean that quali's done and dusted yet. I think there's still a lot of time on these boys, but yeah, Anstoke will be very happy to be comfortably in the lead at this point.
Yeah, he definitely will. I mean, he was a driver early on in the season that was reserving Tier 3, and oh, Johnny's moving to P2. Good luck from him. But yeah, Anstoke was a driver who was actually, I think he led the first 2 rounds of the Tier 3 championship. So
yes, yeah, he's got the pace. We all know that much.
I think he's definitely a driver we could see in the higher tiers next season, and I don't think there would be many arguments against that either. So we'll wait and see. Of course, a lot can change between now and then.
Yeah. And sorry, I brushed over it, but you were right. It's nice to have back Mazo in the league. It's always nice when we have people come back. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to take time out of the sport, out of the game, personal reasons, whatever. And hey, I totally respect that. If you need some time away, do it. But it's always nice that people feel that when they got the time again, they want to come back to us and race with it, because we've got a great league here that's open and inviting, and what a place to do it in Tier 4, which is, of course, the one that runs all our assists, or at least a little bit of racing line to help people out. And I always love commentating on Tier 4. It's nice to see people come up and see what times they can do.
Yeah. Firstly, I just want to say, Martin said Rob needs to do more comms marathons. He has a voice like oil jelly sliding down a greased icicle.
I've got a cold at the moment, so maybe I've just got, like, Phoebe on Friends when she has her sexy voice. I think maybe that's what Martin's...
it sounds like that's what he's kind of aiming for with that. But, no, it is, like, I agree with what you said completely. It's great to see Bat Mazo come back. And the other thing about Tier 4 is I'd love to see their progression up the tiers. Like, there's a lot of examples that have started. Look at Rob Smith, for example. He started, and he admitted this himself, so this isn't me, like, saying anything horrible about it. But he said he started as a midfield Tier 4 driver, got a promotion, and now look, he's right up there in the Tier 3 championship. So... Melvin, Tier 4 champion, right up there. We saw him battling it at the very front in Monza today. You know, we've had a lot of drivers who... DRS Julian as well. Just last season was Tier 4 and now was arguably the quickest driver on the grid in Tier 2 this week. So...
I totally agree. You want the opportunities as well. You want the opportunity to do well and to be driving against people who are around your pace, because... I do think if you go into another league and you're, like 2-3 seconds off the first place driver, it's demoralising, right? Do you want to go back to that place and do it? Not really, because you know you're never going to win. If we've got this tier system to help bring people through, to make them practice, to get that confidence, that belief, that's how people get up at the league and get better, because they want to keep racing the game. They want to keep getting better, because they think on their day they've got the chance to take a victory, and that's what I love about the league and Tier 4 in general.
I agree with you, and also with the Tier 4 as well, and the Tier 3 boys as well. They also have, the coaching available to them from the elite drivers like yourself and all the Tier 1 and majority of Tier 2 guys as well, like to really give them advice on what to do, where they get your drivers tricks and tips each week for each circuit, your explanation. So there's a lot of support we can offer to get these guys hopefully to Tier 1. That's the aim.
Yes, that is the aim. I mean, I will say off the bat here, don't come to me on tips how to go faster, because I got no clue about that. But safer. No, there's a big mental side to this sport. We're not doing 5-lappers here, boys, are we? We're doing 50% races where consistency is just as important as speed. So yeah, that's where I feel my contribution comes into it, making sure that we finish.
Nikolai just hit the wall very hard on the exit of Ascari. He was on a much quicker lap and lost his rear. But let's go and have a look at the flying South African man in P5, Mr. Abanash. Let's see what he's in the middle sector. He's not majorly up, but Ascari can be the place where you gain a terrific amount of time. Very clean on the exit from him, so let's wait and see. He's now coming to Parabolica. Don't miss that 50-meter braking zone, and you can take in qualifier. I almost feel like the title line is slightly quicker, but in the race it's definitely quicker to go for the wider line. Avinash bails, so he obviously was not up at the end of that sector. But talking about Gene Genie anyway, as we were,
Sure,
You
go
were
for it.
Mr. Clean for, well, you still are Mr. Clean. It's still very rare I ever see you in the stewards. I don't think it's probably 5-6 times maximum I've ever had to ask you for footage. that's ludicrous. There's a lot of drivers in this league that we barely even ever speak to, and they probably love us, to be honest. But yeah.
It's well, I wasn't clean on Monday night. I put my hands up to Hodge. I was at fault for a lap one thing, so that's totally my error. And part of it is part of racing responsibly as well is that you're never going to be 100% clean. You're never going to go without mistakes.
It's impossible.
But recognise where you've made a mistake and own up to it. I think, like being honest and being true to yourself is so important in this sport and in all of life. Because if you lie through it and you say, oh no, that's not my fault, or that person's to blame, if you put the blame on others, then you're just going to end up at the end of the night miserable, thinking that you're God's gift to F1 and everybody's rubbish apart from me. That's not the case. I don't know what ego you've got in you if you think that, but you will make mistakes. It happens. Own up to them. Try and be better, and that's just how we grow, I think. So yeah, this F1 can teach you a lot, or at least that's the way I approach it. So
yeah, what I've taken from that is I need to stop winning in Tier 3 because otherwise it's gonna end up, my head's gonna become too big. But
no, just not that at all. Just you can win of course, but be true to yourself and say, hey, maybe I'm Tier 2 pace. Maybe I've got the confidence to go into the next league next season.
Maybe I'll just share the love a little bit. No, that I'd share it too much and then that's it. But here comes Biff. He stays P6. So these times, they're all starting to get fairly low now. Like Johnny Smooth, his time for P4 is very good. Avanash, we know he's got more time in him. He always does. He's just building up for another lap as well. Batmazer, he's one I'm interested to keep an eye on because he's also a very, very quick driver. He's 3 and a bit tenths up in the first sector, so this could be a lap to watch. He's coming through Lesmo 1 now. Nicely on the power. That was actually really beautiful. Now Lesmo 2. Lesmo 2 is definitely the harder one because it's almost banked, isn't it? So if you get it slightly wrong, we saw it earlier, the car will just go, won't it? So
yeah, it's a really nice corner to throw in. I think it's the Lesmo 2 is the one where I feel more confident. Lesmo 1's the always one where I feel like I'm going to lose the rear end a little bit.
Lesmo 1 is that's the more confident one of the two, I'd say, because it all goes by where you can get on the power kind of thing. But it's, let's see, Backmazo's run really wide in Parabolica, but he's got away with it without an invalidation. He has improved up to P7, so that is good for him. He got a bit lucky there with the track limits. But let's go and have a look at the man in P5 in the Ferrari. He's got the whole Tifosi pushing it. Oh, he's lost it!
That's a huge one! Goodness me.
Well, I think I'm going to be getting a horrible message after this because of the curse, but I am sort of sorry, I guess. But Ant Stoke will be secretly cheering away because he is looking good for pole now. But here comes Geke. Let's have a look at him. I did a bit of practice with Geke today and he was keeping pace with me, Simon and Melvin, the Tier 3 boys. Let's have a look. He's up to 7th. Good lap from Geke. Let's see what Batmazo does as he's... I'm wondering if Batmazo... Oh, there's also a Mercedes in the wall. I think it's YouTube Manu. So...
yeah, it's all happening, isn't it? At the end of the session, people pushing and pushing and pushing and just reaching the edge, finding the edge of their car, and the car's running up in the wall.
Yeah, it definitely is. Let's see, though. Batmazo's flashing. I don't think he's going to have it in him to improve. Yeah, no, he doesn't. He's retired. Melvin... He's going to be crossing... No, he's coming the pits. I think that's going to be it for qualifying. It definitely looks that way. Martin just said that was crunchy. I'm guessing he means the Avanash crash.
It was. That Ferrari was bent in on itself in a couple of ways that you never want to see a Ferrari around Monza.
Yeah.
Sad sight to see.
Well, I'm currently in hiding because the Italians are at my door, ready to murder me for going on board with him. but we shall see. But I think that is a mouth-watering front row, though. Ant Stoke against Scottish Ninja. That's going to be one. I don't know. I feel like starting second's better than starting first.
Yeah, it's all about DRS around here, isn't it? And if you haven't got it, one place you don't have it is if you're in first place, leave the pack.
Yeah, no, but I mean also as well, the run down to turn one, you get that wonderful inside line, which does make a huge difference around here.
Oh, totally, yeah.
But let's have I just realised Ant Stoke went quicker than I did in Tier 3. Wow. But let's have a quick look. Ant Stoke on pole. Scottish Ninja takes second. YouTube Manu in third. Johnny Smooth in fourth. Abadash in fifth after his huge crash. Scratch in P6. Biff takes P7. Geke in P8. Back Mazer on his return in P9. Winky in P10. Smith P11. Melvin takes P12 on the mediums. 13th for Chelsea. 14th for Nikolai. 15th for Dirty Harry, who had that early crash. Carlin 15th. 16th. Single Track 17th. Monster 18th. Anton in 19th, and Necromancer got a DSQ and is in P20. Who is your prediction, Rob?
Ooh, well, yeah, a sensible man would go for Ant Stoke, who's quite a bit ahead at the front, or maybe even Scottish Ninja. But I'm a romantic around here. I'm going to go for Avanash. Ferraris. I want to see a Ferrari win it around Monza at some point this week, and so I'm betting all of my lira on Avanash to bring it home tonight.
Yeah, I wanted to just go in a Ferrari for a race because I want to win at this track in a Ferrari, and I've never done it. But no, my pick, I think. Do you know what? I'm gonna go with Scottish Ninja because I think one thing you can guarantee about Monza, as we've just seen in Tier 3, is that there is usually a lot of safety cars. There's usually a lot of incidents, and Ant Stoke isn't going to have this plain sailing. He's got to get his strategy absolutely spot on at all points. So it's one of them where we're going to have to kind of wait and see. Scottish Ninja's disconnected from the session.
Oh no, there's technical problems at the start. Fingers crossed he can.
I hope everything's alright, because he's just kind of driven off into the distance here, which is
never a good sign, is it? Hopefully
everyone else is now gone, so let's hope everything goes okay here. But the good thing is everyone else is moving, so they're all still in sync. That's the good news. But let's have a look at the tyres. So a lot have gone for mediums, which doesn't surprise me. But you've got Nikolai, Anton, Necromancer all gone for the soft tyres. A couple like Monster, Carl, Single Track, Chelsea, Geke and Scratch have all gone for the hard tyres. The hard, what did you go for? You went for hards, didn't you, on Monday?
I went for hards on Monday. I was back down the grid, but the hards allowed me to go medium, which I didn't think was too bad, but those mediums after about 13 laps do get a little bit dicey, and as you said, in your race you didn't think the mediums were a better tyre, you would much rather stay on the hards. So I think hards give you a little bit of flexibility if there's an early safety car for the medium strategy. Yeah, so that's my preference, but these medium runners, they'll want to make the most of these tyres and try and get up the road as quickly as possible. That's why you take the softer tyre around here, and I think those guys at the top can do it. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I agree. But I think the issue is here, it's so rear left limited. Like, I was suffering so much the last 3 laps. I think my rear left got up to 68%. And when you've got all your other tyres mid-40s and that one's on 68, trying to control that car can be an absolute nightmare. But
that's when you get those little twitches, don't you, out of the first chicane and out of the second one.
And when you're leading, no matter how big the gap is, every switch scares you more and more and more. It's absolutely petrifying. Yeah. I'm just checking, has Scottish Ninja actually lined up on the grid? I hope he has. Yeah, he has. Okay, that's good. He's lined
up on the grid. It says disqualified for the moment, but fingers crossed it'll resync and then get a fair start here. We don't want to see him dash off at the line 1 second before everybody else.
Yeah, we definitely do not. Johnny Smooth has also missed his, so's Chelsea. But we're going to be underway very, very soon. That's for sure. Let's just hope and pray that everything gets going as it should. It is 3, 4, 5 red lights, and for Italy we are go. Scottish Ninja's disappeared somewhere. Only one car start. Did the Mercedes jump the start? Yeah, he did. Drive-through penalty for Manu. But Ant Stokes off. He's now in the lead, but obviously Manu's going to have a penalty. But he's missed his braking point. There's another McLaren gone straight on. Oh, Abadash is in the gravel. There's an Alpine made contact with him. Oh, it's not. Winky's up to P3 from 10th. Do you have any idea what went on there?
Absolute chaos. The lights seemed to stay on for a long time, and it was Manu who was the first to go, even though the game said no, you're not allowed, and that seemed to give him the drive through. Else came through. Unfortunately, it looks like we've lost Scottish Ninja from the session as well. It wasn't just a DSQ from the start box, it was a DSQ from the session entirely. So
yeah,
very bad luck.
Weird. Something really weird was going on there, wasn't it? But
yeah.
Williams 1-2. That is not something I ever thought I'd see in my life, even in MRC.
Correct. Well, can they keep it together? And so we know he's got the pace. Winky started, where did he start? Was it about mid?
10th. He's up 7 places. 10th.
Yes, it's been an excellent start from him, but he's really going to have to fight to keep back some very fast drivers who are all over the back of him now. It looks like Scratch takes 3rd place at the Parabolica.
Yeah, he does. Good move from Scratch. YouTube Manu's already serving that drive-through. Probably best to get it out of the way now, because a lot can happen between now and the end. But Dirty Harry as well. He's also another driver. He's up 8 places. Single Track up 9. Monster up 7. There's oh, look at that into turn 1. There's about 6 cars in proximity of each other. That was something. But Batmazo's got a penalty. I think he may have gone straight on at turn 1. But a lot has gone on here. Wow.
Yeah, it's 5 seconds for Batmazo. There was just... It's the ultimate question, isn't it? Like, how many cars can you get into that first corner? Not many. Oh gosh, sorry, I've just seen Winky get a bit of a bump up the backside, and he's round, unfortunately. I think there's another car there who got a bit of front wing damage as well. That'll be an early pit stop for at least one driver.
Yeah, that's not going to be ideal, but this start of this race has really paid into Ant Stokes' hands here. He's absolutely loving it. I think Biff's had an incident because he's dropping like a fly down the leaderboard.
Yeah, it's Biff and is it... Oh no, MONZA. I don't know if he was involved in that incident. He's down to 18th at the moment, but I think it was at the end of the Lesmo 2 there, both of the cars in the gravel trap, and unfortunately Biff without a front wing.
Yeah, quite possibly. It does look that way. But still, everyone's still very close, minus the leader. Johnny Smooth and Geke side by side into Parabolica. Geke has a look up the inside. Johnny Smooth takes the outside line. Has Geke just lost out? No, they're all good. Okay, it looked like they came together then, but no. But Geke backs out of it sensibly. But is he going to get anywhere near the Alpine driver coming in a straight line? He's not, and DRS will not be active just yet. Well, not down this straight anyway. But behind him, Anton makes a move on Mr. Carl Edens for P10. He's trying to make those softs work.
He is starting on the softs. He wants a bit of fun, doesn't he, the Tier 1 driver, seeing how much he can battle his way up through the field. And most importantly, survive around him. We've seen a lot of incidents. It's just as important to keep your nose clean as it is to go fast. So there's a purple first sector from Ant. Yeah,
the two Alpines have just gone side by side and Johnny Smooth's through, but now the two Red Bulls are side by side. Oh, there's contact between the Red Bull and the Alpine. Now the other one goes through. Nikolai is dropping down the order. He's now side by side with the Red Bull of Anton, and I think Anton's got through. He has, because Nikolai went wide, and so does Carl. Those guys, they're not shy, are they?
No, not at all. It was almost 3 into 1 corner there, and I think it shows the difference maybe there between some of the experience of Tier 1 and Tier 4. Not that Ant was necessarily quicker, he is on the quicker tyre. It just had the confidence in the line, and it almost like it spooked Nikolai, who was going around the outside, who didn't slow down in time, and that's why he ran wide. Maybe survival would have been the better option rather than trying to battle through that corner.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I mean, Lesmo 1 isn't traditionally a overtaking spot anyway, is it really? But it can be done if you've got a good enough run, but Anton's just gone past his teammate for P8 as well, so how much of the team game will be played there?
Speedy. It depends if Geke wants to just throw a rope around Ant now and say, yes, just tow me all the way to Johnny Smooth in P7. I'll let you run your race or on different strategies, but just help push me along to the cars in front, because when you've got somebody who's as quick as Ant, he can help to bridge that gap.
He definitely can, and I mean, the rest of the field will be praying for a safety car so that Ant Stoke gets brought back to them a little bit as well. So, but I mean, safety cars can happen either at the perfect time here or absolutely the wrong time here. So,
yeah, at the moment, Ant Stoke out in the lead by 6 seconds. He doesn't want a safety car at all. He wants a nice, boring race, next 23 laps. Just him and the road ahead, and nobody in his way. But never quite works out that way at MONZA.
no, it definitely doesn't. And like I said earlier as well, it's so hard to pull away from a car because they've constantly got that slipstream and that DRS and that straight line to be there with you. Batmazo's now right on the back. He's now side by side. He's now past Scratch Charisma for P2. Batmazo is making moves up the field. Now, can he close down at all to our dominant race leader at the moment?
It's hard. It's almost like these two in 2 and 3 have to work together, have to be a little bit smart. Don't fight too much, don't lose time, just use the DRS, and if you're just going to swap positions every lap, but make advantage of the extra straight line speed if you've got the DRS, that's what you want to do. If you're going side by side into the Lesmos or the chicanes, you'll be giving more time to Ant Stoke.
Yeah, you definitely will, and that gap is still starting to sort of almost increase a little bit. But I'll tell you something, Dirty Harry's now starting to get himself on the back of this battle for second, because he's right there with Scratch now. Scratch is struggling a little bit on the hard tyres. We know there is warm-up issues with the hard tyres here as well, so it's definitely one to watch out.
Dirty Harry failed to set a time, didn't he? But he's up 11 places, up from 15th up to 4th, so it's been an excellent start from him so far. And it's a shame we didn't get to see his speed in qualifying, but it's really nice we get to see it now and see how he can compete with those top 3 drivers. Oh, full yellows.
Yeah, Necromancer, it's a yellow car, it's a yellow car, a safety car, and yeah, he's gone by the looks of it at second Lesmo, so that is going to really change things up a little bit in this race. Something's happened. Oh, Batmazo's just served his 5 seconds on the safety car, which is a very, very smart thing to do. So that's going to benefit him at least. But a lot of things, I'm quite surprised. All the soft runners I expect to come in here. There's a few medium runners. A lot have gone to the hards already. It's going to be some asked to take the hards to the end already as well, because trust me from experience, they don't last long. So
No, it is no fun around here, and particularly if you're stuck on those hards at the end and you've got somebody on a fresh pair of mediums or softs, you do feel it around here. I mentioned earlier that it's hard to pass in those DRS trains, but it's not impossible, and we've seen some people do some pretty daring moves, like round the outside of Parabolic or something like that. If you've got the extra grip, that's possible. So yeah, do be wary if you're thinking of taking those hards all the way to the end.
yeah, definitely. The rear end grip as well, like we've seen. A lot of the crashes we've seen so far, in particular in qualifying, were caused by a real lack of rear end grip. Like on the exit of Ascari, exit of either Lesmos, that could be down to setup issue, but usually don't forget it's the rear left. This is a very rear left limited circuit, so Ant Stoke's pitted.
Yeah, I think that was pitted already. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Ant Hutz, but no, Ant Stoke pitting.
Yeah,
maybe did the safety car come out once he was past the pit lane then?
Yeah, it did. So he was still under Delta. However, that's still, like I said, stupidly, well, not stupidly, but very, very early, because that is, it's going to be some arse to take them 20 laps, isn't it? It really is.
Yes, it is, but you can kind of always, not rely, but you can kind of like bet on that there's probably going to be another safety car in this race. Like usually it's one that likes to chuck up 2 or 3, so you might just be banking on a nice safety car, what we're saying around about lap 17, lap 18, enough time to get a fresh pair of mediums on and know you can take them to the end to be competitive, maybe a pair of softs if you're feeling brave. Yeah, it's really interesting for me what the medium runners do now. Actually, I think a lot of them have decided to stick out on those tyres, deciding that it's too early for hards. A lot of hard runners come in for the mediums, and maybe they're looking to go medium soft or medium.
Yeah, I mean, I guess right now effectively you've got a free pit stop, haven't you? So there's not a massive risk with pitting now, because you know the guy, like especially Antstoke, he still knows 100%, even if there's not another safety car, the 5 in front of him have to pit again. There's no option in that for them. They have to, and he will most likely gain track position off them at some point, unless one of them has absolutely blistering pace and just drives off into the distance. But the chances are, if there's another safety car and these guys can see it to the next safety car, it could cost Antstoke.
Oh, totally. And the one thing Antstoke's got is he knows he's got that pace in his pocket, right? It's frustrating to lose the lead, but you just have to deal with it. And now he's got cars in front of him. The biggest challenge, I think, is avoiding carnage down into turn 1. We've seen how you can do it, you know, like, you can either do it to yourself or some madman from behind can suddenly take you out of the race. Like,
Yeah.
Monza, you need a little bit of luck around here as well. It's not all down to skill, and Antstoke will be hoping that the racing gods are in his favour tonight.
Yeah, another issue is as well, like, I mean, and I'm sure you felt it a bit on Monday as well, on a safety car restart, obviously the field never really gets away from each other, so you can never really totally gain an advantage on one of your main competitors. So, like, for example, on my restart, just after I pitted for the hard tyres, I was behind Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider was on older tyres than me, so therefore at that point I was reasonably quicker and had a bit more grip. But it's so hard to pass, because you've got to be so cautious of where he brakes, where you brake, what's going to happen on the exit, you know, who's using the most DRS. This track I would describe as probably the biggest mind game on the calendar.
Biggest what on the
Mind game.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you need to be smart about how you use your ERS, but at the same time you need to be able to defend yourself from the guys using it behind you. So you just, it's constant. Like, I've had a few people in Discord say, oh, that looks easy today, the win. I can tell you now. Oh, there's a Red Bull in the wall. Geke's got in the wall.
That is ghosted. I think he.
It looked like he lost it by himself.
I think Ericsson hit him again. It's that. It's just something in the air tonight.
Yeah,
it
must have been Ericsson. I blame Ericsson as well. 10 and 10, I think, in the stewards. Oh, Geke.
Oh, no.
Oh, Geke. Oh, my heart bleeds for him. But let's see. Let's focus on where Scratch Charisma is going to go. Smith's going to lose out, sadly, for him after an absolutely amazing start. He's out of the session at the moment, so his Ghost is going to lose him a few places. But Scratch has left this super duper late. But, yeah, Smith's already lost out to Johnny Smooth in P3 single track. That he's the chasing fox, isn't he, really, single track. He's having a look already, but he backs out sensibly on Scratch. He knows it's pointless fighting that right now. Monster up above Chelsea. Dirty Harry as well, one of the stoppers. He's now dropped a little bit behind Chelsea as well. So let's see, YouTube Manu, who's got past back Mazo, but now he's side by side with Winky around Curva Grande. And he's got the move done. What a move that was around the outside of Curva Grande.
Yeah, excellent. Takes a lot of bravery around there, and it's brilliant when you see a move pulled off.
It really was that. It takes a lot of, you've got to have, as some would say, balls of steel to go around there. But you really do. But here comes single track. He's now hunting down the ever fast Scratch Charisma. I think he's Canadian. I don't want to say that actually, in case I'm wrong. But wherever you're from, you're very quick. And let's have a look. Johnny Smooth as well. He's liking this. He's right on the back. He's keeping pace. Johnny Smooth also had absolutely insane pace on Friday in MRCX. So he's a driver to watch out for. Antstoke as well. He's one that's not getting too detached. So he's still there. He knows that he's the man in the prime position.
Oh, big moment!
There is.
Scratch!
Yeah, Scratch has lost it. Oh, wow. The leader. That's such a shame. Let's look behind, because Dirty Harry's right on the back of Monster. He's got the slipstream. He's side by side, but he's got the racing line heading down. The outside soon going to turn to the inside for turn 2. It's very late on the brakes for Monster. They just about avoided contact. But everyone's made it through fairly safely.
That was really good from both of them there. Monster took the right line. It was his corner. He was ahead. Dirty Harry realised it and backed out. to stop the contact. If they'd made contact, Dirty Harry's probably facing the wrong way. So yeah, excellent racing for both of them there.
Yeah, Johnny Smooth's just got passed by Antstoke. Antstoke made the move into 4. Here goes MONZA into the Lesmo 1. But he does back out, and I think he can't. Oh, there's contact between MONZA and Dirty Harry. They really... Wow, that was a really tight squeeze on the exit of Lesmo 1 into Lesmo 2. But now Dirty Harry's coming back at him on the run down to Ascari. And Dirty Harry's got it done now. MONZA's teammate is stuck to his rear end.
Always a nice place to be. MONZA's rear end. No, moving on. We've got...
Wow.
That was really interesting. You had a slow-moving Johnny Smooth, and when a car's going slightly slower through the track, it causes carnage because everybody's trying to find the right line. And oh my goodness, Dirty Harry! Sorry, I'm on board. He's just lost it on the parabolica.
Oh yeah. That is. We've seen a few do that. It's a very easy place. I think people almost underestimate how little traction that corner actually gives you. Like.
Yeah, it's weird. He's on the hards. Like you can't do that corner the same as you do in qualifying. You have to recognise heavy fuel load, the tyres that you're on, and sometimes I know you go through there in 5th in quali. I sometimes chuck it down into 4th just to give me that added stability.
Yeah.
Make sure I get through in one piece.
Back Mazo up to P6. He's just made a brilliant move into turn 4 on Chelsea. But YouTube Manu now, he's right on the boat. Johnny Smooth's gone super deep at Lesmo 1. This is going to open up an opportunity for YouTube Manu into the run down to Ascari. I think also maybe his teammate MONZA let him go so he could have a little chance at getting Johnny Smooth, because it could really help him. Especially if you can get anywhere near the back of Antstoke. The only issue is it's going to be one massive ask for YouTube Manu to go to the end here.
Yeah, I think Manu, if he'd made it to the end in Tier 3, would have been my shout for driver of the day. He had an excellent race there. I just think he was a victim of a slightly unfortunate incident. So yeah, it's nice to see him going well here in Tier 4 as well. It looks like he's got a lot of pace in that Mercedes tonight.
Actually, I want to shout out Manu really quickly, because in the nicest way possible, he was a massive pain in the bum from that safety car restart while he had those mediums. Because he was... obviously, I'm trying to get Ghost Rider ahead of me, but all I can see is red arrows in my rear end, and I'm like, oh no, please just leave me alone. Oh, but here he goes.
He's a pain in the rear end for Johnny Smooth as well at the moment, who just didn't have the same traction Manu got out there. That was an absolutely excellent pass. Gets it all done well before the chicane. No bother.
He's going to be a pain in the front end now for Johnny Smooth, because he's going to see that car fly off, well, potentially fly off into the distance on a fresh set of medium tyres. I'm glad someone can get grip out of them, because I definitely couldn't. But we move on. Biff is now right up the chuff of Chelsea. But let's see, is he good? He's actually got a massively good run. Chelsea actually oh, but Biff's had a big switch and it's cost him out of Lesmo 2. Now Dirty Harry's going to have a little look. Biff goes defensive to the right. Dirty Harry goes to the left. He's going to go up the inside, but is he going to get both? He's had a look, but he's not quite. He has, he's done it. Wow.
That's the effect traffic can have. Like, yeah, Chelsea was just... Biff was just caught behind a much slower Chelsea. Oh my goodness, look at this from behind.
Oh wow,
that's
3 wide. Yeah.
And just going straight through the centre of them all.
But I think with that Ascari there, Chelsea almost got compromised himself on the actual... on the curb in Ascari. And that curb in Ascari, we know it's not the best in the world, is it? Let's be honest. But I tell you what else is interesting. The boss man's now being attacked by your pick, Mr. Antstoke. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on. Manu's also going to be hoping he can get a bit closer to those two, though.
Yeah, sorry, I've just got my eyes on the battle between Ant and Dirty Harry. Dirty Harry stuck with Ant all the way there after Ant made the move, going down the start-finish straight. Ant's had a great couple of corners. In half a lap, he's gone up, what, from about 11th, I think he was, to pass Chelsea, Biff and Dirty Harry and go all the way up into 7th. We know he's got some pace. We'll see how he goes.
But I think what's going to be exciting here on the run down to Ascari, Biff just... as you were talking about him, Dirty Harry had a little bit of a moment, but Biff now in his DRS. Biff's gone to the right. He's going to get it before Ascari even comes, I think, here. And that is move done. Biff has moved up to P8.
So that's back to Yeah, there's excellent race. Going back to the front of the pack, yeah, we've got Martin in P1 doing a bit of a Nick de Vries in the fact that he wasn't even meant to be racing tonight. There was an injury to a driver. He stepped in the last minute, and all of a sudden, he's outperforming. Or well, he's not outperforming. He's still a very good driver. He's performing very well. He's just been passed there by Ant Stoke, who wants his lead back, and he gets it.
What a move that was! Incredible on the break.
Grass though.
He has, and now that's going to issue another chance for Mr. Hills to go round the outside of Curva Grande. If Martin can make this stick, he'll be absolutely loving it, because we know he loves an outside overtake, and he's got it done. I don't think Ant Stoke's going to be able to come back at him, because the corner's just simply just too tight. But I tell you something, I think Martin comes alive when he drives a Haas. Because, no, honestly, because in Mexico, oh wow, it feels like an eternity ago, but I was stuck behind him for the entirety of the second half of the Tier 3 race, and he just turns into an animal when he's in that Haas. He really does. But now he's side by side into Ascari much later on the brakes. Incredible car control there from Ant Stoke to put that into P1.
It was lovely by the both of them, and that scrapping just means it's let YouTube Manu catch up with the rest of them. So now he's invited to the party on those 8-lap-old mediums.
He is. I hope he likes to dance, because I think he's going to have a few dance partners with him here for the next few laps. He's flashing like crazy though down the straight, so he's used a lot of his ERS to try and catch up to these guys. Martin's now made a move again on Ant Stoke. Ant Stoke's going to have the inside for 2, but he does back out. But I tell you something, this is going to open an opportunity for Manu potentially to go to get a run. He's got the run. Is Ant Stoke going to be overtaken twice around the outside of Curva Grande in 2 laps? I think he's going to be, but Manu makes it stick. This is the first time we've seen Ant Stoke under any sort of pressure from someone in Tier 4. But here goes Manu on the inside, but Ant Stoke makes it stick. Wow, what a piece of defending that is from Ant Stoke.
Oh, I was lining up my bit about if you go around the outside of Parabolica, it's really easy to overtake on the inside, because you're going to have a lot of guts to try and keep it in. You know that apex is covered, but Ant Stoke just didn't care. They left the gap, they left each other room, and it's Ant Stoke who comes out on top.
Yeah, he definitely does. Martin says he's got wing damage on his front left end plate.
Not showing for the moment. Sorry, just the thing at the moment between these two, Ant Stoke and Manu, Ant Stoke has just dropped out of DRS range to Martin up at the front, so he might be a bit of a sitting duck here for Manu to get him down one of the straights if he's not careful.
Yeah, I agree with you. The issue is Manu's used so much of his ERS. Ant Stoke hasn't got a great deal left either, but Manu's actually come into the pit, so he's bailed early for the mediums. He doesn't like them, and to be honest, I think that might be a sensible choice, because if there's another safety car, it could bring him straight back into play. But Johnny Smooth's done some stint there on those medium tyres as well, but he's now under pressure from the Aston Martin of Batmeza, who has a look down the inside. He's got the inside line and he's gone through as well, and that is Batmeza into what is a net P2 now.
Yeah, look at Ant Stoke there, ready to pick up the pieces as well. Johnny Smooth's just got no traction out those low speed corners now, has he, on those 15-lap-old mediums, and that looked very easily for Anthony.
Yeah, I think Anton should get, I don't know, a further 10 place grid penalty, because he's just bullying these Tier 4s at this point. I think he's quietly made his way back up the field here as quickly as well. Avinash, he's sort of come from nowhere and worked his way back up into P6.
Yeah, he had a bit of a nightmare start, didn't he? I think the safety car helped to bunch the field up since then, and then it's been in plain sailing. It's nice to see a good recovery drive, and he's on those hards as well. Means he could go to the end. If you're looking at drivers who need to pit, Johnny Smooth needs to pit. Biff probably does. Gosh, was that car facing the wrong way? That was
Johnny Smooth.
Smooth.
Yeah, he was having such a good race. Those mediums, though, I think they may have given up on him, because that 15 laps is a lot to ask on them. Single tracks out in the pits as well. I wonder if he's going to get that wing damage change that he talks about in YouTube chat. No, he's not. He's going to keep it. So he obviously feels like he can drive with it. He feels comfortable enough at least. But that lead that Ant Stoke's got now is looking rather large. Can Batmeza make any impression on Anton there? Anton's just gone through on him. You've got to feel a little bit for Geke here as well, I feel like, because firstly, he's caught the field really well, considering he crashed as the safety car was coming in. But secondly, he's going to be... Oh, there's a yellow flag in Sector 1. Is that a Mercedes? Is that YouTube Manu?
So the Alpine, I think.
Oh, it is an Alpine, Nikolai, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a shame. He was having such a good race as well. 11 laps on those mediums. Sector 1, another yellow flag. Who is that going to be? I don't know. I didn't see anyone there. Maybe it was someone getting out the way, potentially. But what else is going on? So single track right on the back now of Carl. Carl's also made a good little impression and a good drive up the field, as has Melvin as well. But these guys out front, I mean, Anton has taken roughly about a second out of Ant Stoke here, so...
Well, I was just about to say that. I thought you've got Ant Stoke, who, what, it says race tier 3 at the moment, up against a tier 1 driver, similar tyre compounds. This is your place to prove it, right? Is he going to be... I thought, hey, we're just going to see a hunt on now, and Anthony chasing down Ant Stoke, but he's pulled more time on him. That lap. Should we move Ant Stoke all the way up to tier 1? Discuss in the comments, please.
I mean, I'm down if it keeps him away from me in the championship. That's fine by me. I honestly don't mind. But oh, Martin's gone super deep trying to overtake Carl. This is going to open Carl an opportunity, but I don't think he's going to be able to take it. I don't think he's quite got the X out too. And there's a virtual full safety car.
Full safety. Yeah, full. There's the yellow dot in the pit.
Now this opens up a lot of options. I still think it's too early for the softs. Nikolai's gone for the softs. But I think 10 laps is a bit much when you only think the mediums can last only 13. So
yeah, I think I might be tempted if I was those hard runners at the top to dip in and get a fresh pair of mediums, but you would be giving up the lead probably definitely to Single Track, who's on those fresh set of mediums and pitted a lap earlier.
He is, yeah, that is for sure. The issue for the guys is here. I mean, bearing in mind we had a safety car very similar time in P3, in tier 3, and I was there going to the rest of the party and my teammate, oh, I'm pitting. They went, no, do not. And I'm like, I'm literally coming up to the pit lane, like, I don't know what to do here. Ant Stoke has pit, by the way. He's come in, he's put on the softs. Ooh, that's an interesting choice. Anton, mediums, that's the more sensible choice, I would say. Bat Mazo also, what's he gone for? Mediums as well. I think, in my opinion, the mediums are the better choice here.
Yes. Sorry, just saw a very cheeky move there. Manu overtaking Bit on the entrance to the pit lane. He's allowed to do it. We saw Sebastian Vettel do it a couple of years ago. It's not disallowed, but you do feel like you've been mugged off when it happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's something... If it happens to you, you're probably not going to be all that impressed. But... No. If you do it, you're like, ooh, I just pulled one on you there, and I'm not getting any sort of penalty for it. So, yeah, it's one of them where just know that the person you've just done it to is absolutely livid with you.
Correct.
Just know that, okay? But no, I think it's a real mix-up here. It'll be interesting. I'm a driver that I am happy to see in the top 10 because he's had what he called his own personal disaster of a season this season. Is Winky snuck up into P8. He had that little moment early on. He was in the dizzy heights of P3 at one point after that race start, wasn't he? But he's there, he snuck back into the points. The only issue is now he's on hard tyres and everyone around him is on fresh tyres of some sort. He's
benefited from the one-stop strategy. I'm having a look at who else has done one stop right at the top. Him, Johnny Smooth in 12th, he was the one who took those mediums a very long way, 15 laps. The other one, MONZA, our other late replacement, up in 4th place, clearly just gone hard medium, run his own race, kept his nose clean, and yeah, finds himself in 4th place. So I'll be interested to see what he can do on those mediums as he takes them to the end, because I don't think it'll be a massive disadvantage to the cars around.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100% there. And you made the comment of, oh, you think Martin was going to take the lead. He actually pitted, I think, to get his wing fixed that he had damaged a little while ago. So that's why he hasn't made the progression. But Melvin is the one that's been a bit cheeky and decided to go for track position. But Melvin will get that 4th place demotion, as will MONZA. So at the minute, you'll actually see Mr. Avanash fight his way back to the podium.
Yeah, that's very nice, and possibly, look who's in 5th place, back Mazo, on his return. It would be quite a way to say, hello, I'm back, remember me, if he could take a space on that provisional podium. So, yeah, well done to you, sir.
He's in a net P2 at the moment, so I'm quite impressed, but I am going to take this time to have a quick look at penalties. So Nikolai's on 11 seconds, so I think one of them may be like speeding in the pit lane or something. Geke's also got 3 seconds, so is Dirty Harry Smith, Chelsea. But the one thing these drivers definitely don't want to do now is sort of really try to force moves on each other. I know it's the end of the race, I know it's only 7 laps to go, but it's so easy to almost get carried away with the fact that you're on a better tyre and push each other a bit too much, isn't it, in some way?
Yeah, you've got to, after the safety car does its thing, survival's almost got to be the first thing on your mind. Get through the first lap, get through the second lap, let that field spread out, because those who are on older tyres, they will naturally be holding you up. Like, you'll get the position because they'll just be slower in the corners, the DRS will come along, you've got time. Wait until then, rather than lunging a tyre up the inside and on turn 1, causing a massive pile-up, and you're getting a very long list of not very nice messages of the stewards later on. That's what you don't want to do.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, we had an extremely late call in Tier 3. I do wonder if it's coming in this lap. I don't think it's going to, because there's a Haas somewhere lagging around about half the track behind. So we are going to get one more lap, and I tell you something, that is helpful.
Some out of them. It's not nothing, and it'll be taking more out of their tyres than it will everybody else around them.
Yeah.
So.
The other thing is, though, on this restart, they're also going to be the ones with the most heat in them. So I feel like unless Melvin's very, very clever with his restart, then Antstoke may get a very good run on him, bearing in mind he's 2 compounds softer than Melvin at the moment as well.
Yeah.
But
Melvin's going to be the cork in the bottle, isn't he?
Oh,
you
he
want to get
definitely
past
is.
Melvin as quick as possible.
And it's going to be a matter of, because the comfort blanket for Antstoke is the 2 behind him are in higher tiers. Therefore, no matter if they get past him or not, he does not need to fight them at all. But
it's always... Sorry, go ahead.
He's just got to be sort of careful of Batmazo and Avanash to see what they're going to do, because if they both have the pace to come out of absolutely nowhere here and take this from him.
Totally. I always find the split tyre strategy on the safety car fascinating, because those who don't pit, you're begging loads of people not to pit with you, right? So particularly if you've gone for track position, you want 4 or 5 cars behind you to stodge up those people who have pitted for the softs and mediums and lost track position. The way this has worked out for Melvin, I mean, he's the sausage now, isn't he? He's the only one who's who's stayed out, and he's just thinking, oh my goodness, I'm going to be eaten up, I should have gone in. But we'll see how it pans out, because we've got the safety car coming in this lap.
Yeah, I mean, as for what you just said, I literally had that luck that you just spoke about in Tier 3, where I decided to stay out and get track position, and I had 5 cars as a comfort blanket almost behind me to protect me from the guys on those blisteringly quick softs, so sort of saved me a little bit. But when do we think Melvin's going to go? I reckon it could be out of Parabolica, but then he might try and drag this on as late as he can, because he's not going to have the heat in his tyres that the other guys are going to have.
He needs a lot of heat. He's trying his best to warm them up at the moment, but it is so hard, particularly when you're going this slow. We're trundling on about 50 miles an hour. These guys are much used to doing 200 as they approach.
These guys are all so ready to go as well, but Melvin has gone by the looks of it. He's put his foot down. Oh no, maybe not. Yeah, he has now. Melvin has left it, and I'll tell you something, Anthony has got, well, he did have to run initially, but then obviously those soft tyres got Antstoke away from him. Let's have a look a bit further down. The Aston Martin and Batmazo having a look at MONZA straight away here. And Batmazo's got it done down to turn 1. Good move from Batmazo, and MONZA knows not to fight it back. Now Avanash is having a look round the outside. Wow, what a move from Avanash on the exit of turn 2. He's through as well.
Brave. Yeah.
These Tier 4 drivers mean business. They now want to get on the back of Anton, or hope that Anton really starts to battle with Antstoke to bring... Antstoke's got 3 seconds! That's going to change everything! Oh, Antstoke's going to be needing to absolutely fly past, but what's not helping them is the fact that Scratch now has just got... Well, Scratch has just got past Biff. But Batmazo and Abadash need to be really, really clever about this now. But the issue is Antstoke already past Melvin.
Yeah, Antstoke past Melvin, and Melvin, I don't know if he's using up all his ERS or something, but thought Ant was going to get the run on him, didn't. And now Anthony wants to get past this cork, because you can see Antstoke just pulling away up the road.
Yeah, he does, and I think Anton, if anyone can take this to Antstoke and potentially cost him the win here on the mediums, it'll be Anton, and he's gonna get through here. Melvin doesn't fight it all that hard. I think by the time they get to the end, it's going to be the Red Bull ahead. He's got the inside line heading down, but these guys, Batmazo, Abadash, they'll be sat there praying that Anton can take this to Mr. Antstoke out front.
Yeah, Melvin's fighting away and good on him, but there was just never going to be those. Avanash and Batmazo, I don't know if there was a coming together.
Batmazo just had a massive moment. Yeah, he had a massive moment on the exit, and it let Avanash through. This could really cost Batmazo the chance at winning this race, but Avanash still right there. Now, can Anton make any sort of impression on the leader? Scratch as well. He's also just made a move on Nikolai. Winky's had a moment somewhere, I think, 'cause he's dropped a few places after me being so nice about him, but it's probably the tyres that he's on that haven't helped him at all. But let's continue on, because this battle for the out front is going to be so interesting. Avanash will be praying and praying that he can get Melvin quickly to sort of at least somewhat keep him within the battle and within a chance, because right now he's not within that 3 seconds of Antstoke.
No, it's up to about 4 seconds now, and of course Antstoke is on those softs. He's going to be leaning on them as much as possible to try and get that lead. He's got that penalty, so he's just thinking time. I have to run 4 qualifying laps, or 5, or whatever it is, until the end. That's going to take the life out of them.
It is,
he just
but that's
goes
the
fastest with the
lap
122.
as well. So he's definitely got the life in them for now, that is for sure. But he has used every single ounce of his ERS. And Anton has still got a lot, so we could still see a late charge here. And don't forget, Antstoke's tyres will start to die, I think, with about a lap or 2 to go. And that can be... Avanash has just got past Melvin for P3 around the outside of Curva Grande, and he's made it stick. Now, Avanash needs to just get... it's confusing me with all these top 3 having A's that start at the start of the day. But Avanash just needs to close in and get his head down and see if he can get anywhere near Antstoke.
Yeah, like your triple, your favourite batteries you use for your remote control. We've got AAA up top, and it will be an electric finish here, I hope, as we move into the final few laps.
Yeah, let's hope so. But I think I'll tell you something. Your wish could still come true here with Avanash winning it in the Tifosi for the Ferrari.
What a recovery it would be. It was stone dead last at the end of the first lap. And I think he's got a chance. It all relies on, does Antstoke pick up another penalty if he's pushing to try and get that gap, or when do those softs start falling off and start
Safety car!
Absolutely horrible. Safety car, oh my goodness me. That's really going to throw a spanner in the works for Antstoke, because we're going to get 2 laps of racing?
Yeah, and his tyres now are going to be anywhere near the best they can be.
Yeah.
He's going to be
Who
lucky.
The safety car?
It was, I think, Smith, the teammate of Abadash, ironically. not to throw any conspiracies out there, but that could not be more perfectly timed for Abadash.
Yeah, no, I dismiss the conspiracy theories straight away. We are not at all accusing Smith of doing that, but no, it certainly has played into the favour of Avanash, who, if this race is 2 racing laps, it's going to, on 8-lap-old softs, it's going to take an absolutely monumental effort for Antstoke to try and pull out that lead, and he'll be kicking himself for picking up those time penalties, because he's always looked like he's had the pace this entire race. It was in his control. It's all going to come down to a final lap shootout.
And I want to make a little point here. I'm on board with Antstoke, and his tyres do not look great. From first viewing, you can genuinely see the wear on them. There's a line going around the sort of rim edge of his front right, which isn't looking too healthy. So
yeah, you're right.
But the issue is here, there's only going to be one. Like, we know the game's not going to finish it under the safety car.
Correct.
Or is it?
Yeah.
So
I've never seen it happen. It won't allow it. So
there is literally going to be a one-lap shootout to the end here.
Yeah. Oh gosh, we've just lost another car. Was that Johnny Smooth who's gone?
Oh my goodness, it was Johnny Smooth. Oh no. But I think Avinash may well have just been absolutely gifted the win here potentially. Bat Mazo may have just been gifted P2 as well. You know, these guys have had Geke as well. Can I point out as well what a recovery from Geke that is?
Yes, it is. What's the penalty situation looking like at the moment? Because he's won with the penalty.
Yeah, let's have a look. So at the minute, he would actually lose out to Winky, which will give Winky his first points of the season. So at the minute, Antstokes on 3, Melvin's also on 3, 11 for Nikolai. So Geke may still actually find himself on the podium here. Not on the podium, in the points, because of the penalty to Nikolai. But then Dirty Harry's also got 3, Chelsea 3, YouTube Manu. Oh, it's such a shame to see him because he's really had the strong pace as well, hasn't he? And then Biff as well, and Monsters dropped quite far back. But we're going to get a one-lap shootout. This is going to be absolutely... I'm half tempted to get rid of everything off the screen and let's just all enjoy this last lap. We don't, actually no, we will let people see what's going on because they want to see it. But this now, yeah, I feel like we're going to need voices for this.
we are. There was a little race, I don't know if you remember it, but there was one that happened towards the end of the season, of the 2021 season, where it felt a little bit like this, one-lap shootout. Fingers crossed we get some similar drama here as Antstoke. I think, he's gone.
He's gone.
Let's see what he can do.
He has. Yeah, as for the Abu Dhabi rate, I have no idea what you're on about. Can't be anything that important. But Anton's already having a look. Wow, he's got such a strong straight line. Wow, he's gone through, but now Avinash is also closing and closing and closing, but he's not going to be close enough. But Anton shoved down the inside. But now Anton's made it stick. Anton runs a bit wider. Now it opens it up for Avinash, who's taken P2.
Those softs look dead, don't they? But we're talking about dead tyres. Melvin, 19-lap old hards, 4th place.
Yeah, and here goes Bat Mazo. He's not quite close enough. Bat Mazo's sensible. He knows. Bat Mazo knows. All he has to do is stick on the back of Melvin, and he's going to take P2 in this race, by the looks of it, with the penalty to Antstoke. But Antstoke's actually holding on a bit here. He's sort of coming back to it. Dirty Harry's taken P10 away. He's made a good little start. Oh, but he's disconnected. So now YouTube Manu, what a restart he's had. He's come from last, and now he's back in the points. But let's just have a look out front, because at the moment, Avinash he's like the boy who cried wolf. He's taken it late on, but someone's round. But Mazo, oh no, and Melvin, I think they've come together.
Oh, that's such a shame, just fighting for it. Avinash went so wide into Ascari.
Yeah, but he has.
Yeah, I don't know if Antstoke.
Ant's going to take it on track though. He's going to win it on track, but he's not going to win because Avinash has won it for the Ferrari team in front of the Tifosi, in front of Monza. Scratch has taken third on the road, but he will get a drop as well, which promotes Anton to 4th. And all of a sudden, YouTube Manu has claimed the final podium spot from being last on that safety car restart.
That's mental. Grazie ragazzi. Grazie ragazzi.
Yeah, that's all you can say to that. Geke is P6. Single track comes in P7. Chelsea in 8. Winky will take his first points. And not only that, Winky will take 5th? Altogether here, that is a stunning drive. Dirty Harry home in 10th, Carl 11th, Bat Mazo in 12th, Biff in 13th, Nikolai 14th, Melvin, and that's all you can say to that. But what on earth happened on that last lap?
Crazy race, crazy finish. Like lot of last lap moves there, I think, but I couldn't be happier for those at the front. Gives driver the day to Anthony, and hey, lost the first challenge. He's done it, but
yeah,
hey,
but I'm not giving it to a tier 1 driver, not officially anyway.
No, I don't know. I kind of driver of the day. It's between, for me, Avinash, who had a great recovery from last,
I think there's a
dead
few
last
shouts.
First lap.
Yeah,
the win, and YouTube Manu, right, as well, for like
and
he was dead
Geke
last,
potentially
one
as well.
lap to go. Yeah, no, that's another good shout.
Geke's come, we all saw him under the safety car lose it completely. And he's come home, I think, P4 overall in Tier 4 here. Maybe even... Yeah, P4 is where he's got there. So,
Oh, wow.
Geke, that's some drive from him, but we will go through it again. Don't forget, these results are all provisional as well. Anton takes the win. Abadash will be the new winner because he's the Tier 4 driver. Scratch comes home in 3rd. Adstoke in 4th. YouTube Manny 5th. Geke in 6th. Single Track 7th. Chelsea 8th. Winky 9th. Dirty Harry in 10th. Bit W in 11th, Batmazo in 12th, what a heartbreak for him late on. Biff 13th, Nikolai 14th, Melvin 15th, Monster in 16th, Johnny Smooth 17th, Smith 18th, Necromancer 19th, and Scottish Ninja in 20th. So, who is it going to, Mr. Gene Genie? Who is your driver of the day?
Oh, well, I think Avanash can bask in the glory of a win because I'm going to give driver of the day to YouTube Mano. I thought he had 2 excellent races, actually, Tier 3 and Tier 4, and yeah, that recovery right at the end of the race. What a drive. Shows you that you should never give up. No retire in the pits last lap because safety cars come in. Stay out there, own it, and you never know what happens. So yeah, great race from him.
He's done last to 3rd in 1 lap.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
That's what he's done. But I'm going to split it, so just so we're fair here. So, YouTube Money gets yours. I'm going to give it to Avanash because as much as he's won... that's still simply sensational, isn't it, to be completely honest. So yeah, that is going to be how it is. So Abadash takes the win. I think he may take the lead of the championship now as well. So Ferrari are enjoying Tier 4, but that's going to be it for this week. You've had a double dose of Mr. Rob Atwood tonight, so aren't you all lucky? But that we will be back next Wednesday because Tier 3 and 4 had those horrible little glitches last week, so they'll be fighting around the roller coaster that is Portugal. But we also have some little extra special races, like on Friday we have an unknown event kind of thing. We don't know the track we're racing at, but there is a race happening. And then I think Monday the 9th we also have the no assist special, if I'm not wrong, I think. Potentially.
I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah, so we've still got a lot of action to come for you over the bank holiday weeks. But Rob, thank you so much for joining me.
No problem, thank you, it's been a pleasure.
It's always good fun, and don't forget to like, subscribe, ding that bell, and just keep an eye out for whenever we're live over the next week because you're never short of action. But thank you guys, and good night.